Hello, welcome back to Oliver's greenhouse. Now, been really busy. I've got a really busy day ahead of me today. I'm going to be potting up a lot of Drosera because I've got loads of little plants that have germinated recently, and they're really crowded in pots. And it's time to start splitting some stuff out. So I've got some of my Pinguiclias as well. I'm going to separate them out. They sort of produce new rosettes from the base quite regularly. So I'm going to divide some plants up basically today. It's a typically miserable day as well. The weather's atrocious. It's not cold anymore, but it is raining, and the whole of next week looks like it's going to be raining as well. So it's actually quite nice to come and hide in the greenhouse. Although with the amount of condensation in here, it might as well be raining anyway, so I have to be quite careful with the camera. I can't remember who it was. Someone asked for an update on the Cephalotus leaf pullings, and that's because I basically put them in the greenhouse and I've basically completely forgotten about them. But that prompted me to come out and have a look, and yeah, something started happening on a few of them. So what I'll do is I'll move you guys, and we'll go and have a look at some of them. Now, if you can remember, the first attempt was we had a little clear Tupperware box, and we put some damp sphagnum moss inside it, and we took some leaf pullings and we laid them down on it. And nothing happened for ages, so we're going to have a look at those. And then the second one was to skip the whole process and just put the leaves straight into a nice moist potting media in the pots which are in the greenhouse here, and they've been less successful. But that's all part of the experiment really, so it was so that you guys could see what was going to happen, and so I could see what was going to happen. What I'll do is I'll pick you up and we'll have a look first at the ones we put straight into soil. Okay, so here are the leaf pullings we took and put straight into just a mixture of sphagnum peat moss, and there's also some gravel and some perlite in there. And from what I've read is it will basically be successful as long as they stay green. Well, that doesn't look so good with some of the leaf pullings we've made. If we zoom, I'll zoom you guys in, we'll have a look at some. Right, hopefully you can see that there. Well, this one here has gone really red. It's green near the base, but it's gone very red here, so that doesn't look very promising at all. This one over the back as well. Same again there. It's gone red, doesn't look very good. That guy stayed nice and green, so that looks promising. Also, this guy here has stayed nice and green, so that's two, which look okay. Scan down the bottom here, hopefully the camera will focus. It's gone a bit yellow, not looking too good. This one's gone a little bit red at the tip, so not looking very good. This one's completely boned, so that's basically a no-goer. And the one over the back there is not looking too good either. So out of all of those, we've got two which still remain promising. So all in all, not overly successful. Okay, so most of you remember back in the early days, this is the little Tupperware pot that we put the original leaf pullings in. So what we'll do is we'll have a quick look in here and see what's been going on. What I'll do is I'll just take the lid off, because I've pretty much given up on this guy because nothing happened for ages. And so I stuck my head in here the other day, and it might be quite tricky to focus on this. What I'll do is I'm just going to pick you up and move you forwards a little bit more so you're nearer the benching. Like that. Sorry about this, guys. I'm going to point you downwards. Hopefully, get this in the middle of the screen. Hopefully you guys are going to be able to see this. Okay, that's pretty clear there. I hope you can see that okay. Now, so these were the two leaf pullings. I can't remember which one was which. We took them from the two different plants which I've got. But I can't remember which one was which, and this is just some dead long leaf sphagnum peat. No, it's not. It's sphagnum moss, but this is the dead stuff, and this is some of the live stuff. So I was having a little nosy around in here the other day, and hopefully you can see that. See that right down in there? We've got some new plantlets coming up from the base of this leaf, which is super exciting. So they've actually worked over all of that time. They've actually, it's actually germinated, well not germinated, it's actually produced roots and begun to produce little plants. So not so sure about the other one. Haven't noticed any plantlets any new leaves forming on this one. But this one has taken off. So what we're going to do today is we're going to take that out and pot that up. Okay, so what I've got here, I've got the little plant over here. This is like a standard, this is the mix I use for my Cephalotus. So this is basically a mix of peat moss, perlite, and some washed horticultural sand in here. And you want to make it quite granular. This thing's got to be super free draining because Cephalotus are very prone to crown rot and root death. So you want a potting media which is going to drain freely, and it contains plenty of oxygen, remains oxygenated, which is why we keep the perlite in it. I'm just going to pot this guy, once we extract him, I'll do that in front of the camera, into one of these little tiny, I don't know what they are, 3-inch pots. I think they are just about, they're not very big. This is what I'm going to be using to repot most of my plants in because they fit quite nicely into these bigger plant trays here. So that's what we're going to be using. What I'll do is I'll pick you up and move you and we'll zoom in and see what this thing. We're going to have to be super careful when we take it out as well because they've got very fine roots and I think it's going to be quite easy to damage them, so it's going to be a bit of an operation. I'll just pick you up. Okay. Bring you down a little bit so you can see this. I'll try and do this in front of the camera as much as possible. Well, I think the first thing to do would be to remove all this living Sphagnum moss off and out of the way. That's a Pluritalis leaf. I just wanted to see if it would go in the same way. It didn't, or hasn't yet. So hopefully you can see that. Looks like it's only got one root at the moment. Comes down and it tracks along the bottom of the tray for some distance, so I've just got to gently pull this out of the way. This is going to be super. It's like that game Operation, but try not to break the single tap root which has emerged from this plant, from this leaflet. Oh, this is painstakingly difficult. Okay. Oh, can you see the root down in there? It's that little bit just by my fingers. It goes this way. You have to excuse me if I don't talk whilst doing this. This is requiring almost all of my concentration. I have to use some fingers, so I've got to pull this piece of Sphagnum moss apart so I can actually get in here as well. Okay. Oh, it's moving. Okay. There we have it. Right, just move you in here a little bit closer. Okay. Just put this guy on my hand. I don't know if you're going to see it if I do that, not with the background. There we go. Hopefully you can see that. So there's the taproot that's emerged from the little plantlet. And it's actually starting to branch out as well. So now what we're going to do is going to pot that up very carefully. Just lay him down on there for the minute. Excellent. Macro lens not yet arrived. Ordered but not yet arrived. Otherwise this would look amazing. We'll be able to see some super close-up detail. Okay, take some of this out, like that. So this is just damp, so it's not dry, it's just damp. I've just used the moisture from the sand, giving it a good mix up, and that's all the moisture I'm going to have in this to work with it at the moment. I'm just going to make a hole in the bottom of it like this. This is going to require further delicate treatment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to poke the root down inside the media like that. Hopefully you can see that. Keeping the plantlet like that held against the edge of the pot like that, and I'm just going to gently backfill little tiny bits at a time in and around the plant. Because the last time I did this, in fact it was the same leaf, but it produced a root, and in fiddling around to have a look at it, I snapped it off like a complete and utter idiot. So I just want to make sure I don't do that again. Okay. It's actually in this pot a bit deep, which isn't ideal. What I'm going to do is I'm going to top dress it with, just very gently firming it down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to top dress it with just some washed aquarium gravel, just to fend off moss basically, because moss will try and grow on this in my conditions very quickly. Okay. So that's him in there. Okay, so there you go. There he is in his pot. Pop him down there. I'll grab some aquarium gravel and we'll do a little top dress. Put this live sphagnum moss back in the pot here. Like that. I won't put that on there. I was going to put the bag of gravel on the side, but it's a bit dirty. Because of course, I don't know about the rest of you, but my spring clean of the greenhouse is going to be coming up quite soon, where I get all the plants off and just bleach the sides and have a good clean out. Just want to put a thin layer of this, like that. There we have it. Let's have a quick look at that now. Okay, so hopefully that's in focus. That's all we're going to be doing. So we've just got a little top dress of this fine aquarium gravel. There was a little stone right in the middle of the rosette there, so what we do is just move these bits away so we can grab that out there without grabbing any leaves. There we go. We'll give that a watering in now, and hopefully we'll start seeing it produce some pictures pretty soon. Okay, thanks for tuning in. Not a mega exciting video today, but there's an update. So what have we learnt? Potting straight into media, bad idea. Potting into dead sphagnum moss and leaving well alone, good idea. Thanks for watching. Make sure to tune in again.